Today I'm going to take you through a program using the roller and some light weights. And we're going to start on the floor with our roller lengthways. Now I have the mat lengthways. That's because I just want my upper body to be supported on the mat and the roller to be free on the floor. But if you're working with a carpet, it's going to be a little bit challenging. And you might want to just use a yoga mat. We're going to take the legs and we're going to drape them over the top so that the roller is right close to you. And then we're going to lie down. And when you lie down, you want to feel, if you're using the lengthways mat, just so that the back is supported. The head can be on the floor. And if you feel like your head is falling backwards, just a very low prop can lift your head back up. Otherwise, let's everyone take your head and let it fall into your hand. Bring your chin into your chest so you feel your neck really, really long. Let your head be heavy, and we lie your head down so that your chin is to chest. Your shoulders are square. Your elbows are going to be placed on the floor, and you're going to walk your feet in. So our rib cage is where we're going to breathe through diaphragmatically. So I want you to breathe in and feel like your ribs are spreading apart and sinking down into the mat so that you're breathing laterally into the sides of your body. And then on your exhale, you're going to feel the ribs wrap around and create like this corset. They're going to sink down into the mat. So that will be our breathing. Let's take our elbows down to the mat, fingers to the ceiling so that we feel the triceps press down into the mat. We're going to start off with just bridging. You're going to breathe in through the nose, and as you exhale, begin to lift your hips up. Again, your gaze is still looking down your cheekbones, and then you're going to roll down through the spine. So in the beginning, it might feel like you're just lifting your hips up off of the mat, but I want you to feel your hips curl toward you and then lift up. Inhale when you reach the top through the nose, exhale through the mouth. So this might be a challenge for those of you who breathe only through your mouth. We want to start to breathe deep in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Mouth is opened, not through pursed lips. We don't want to whistle through our lips. We want to feel free flowing, like tumbling out. We're going to do that one more time. Nice bridge. Press into the arms, lifting the hips up, and exhale, rolling down. Feel each vertebra kind of touch the mat, and then feel your neutral. That means your hips kind of tilt away and you feel like a little arch to your lower back. So let's all come up into the bridge and hold, and move your roller underneath your hips. So you might have to lift up a little bit higher if your roller is the size of mine. That's totally fine. And we want to have our hips squarely on the mat. Remember your head. We don't want to look up towards the ceiling. We still want to look down. And we want to be able to feel our hips kind of rest in the roller. So as we breathe, the hips are feeling heavy. And for some of you, this might not feel comfortable. It might be a little triggering for your SI joint, but persevere. Practice makes permanent, and this is actually going to help stabilize and stretch the SI joint. So if we're unstable through the SI joint, maybe purchasing a roller that's half this size might be for you. We're going to start by picking up the right knee and pulling it towards your chest. Notice I'm not letting the foot drop down. I'm lifting up through the shin. That takes the pressure off my lower back. I'm going to start to draw this knee into my chest, and this leg is going to reach away. So feel the roller kind of roll away as the hips kind of tilt towards you a little bit. That's okay. And then bringing that leg back so that the knee is directly over top of the hips. Let's place our hands on the roller so it doesn't roll around. And we're going to bring the knee all the way into the chest on its own and bring it down. And as you lower it down, you're going to feel when your abdominals engage, and then exhale, lift it back up. So we're doing a bent leg movement from the hip, and in Pilates, this is called toe tap. Notice how I'm not tapping anything. But we're imagining that we're dipping our toe into the pool and then changing our mind and coming back out. So on this last one, you're going to bring the knee directly over top of the roller, and we're just going to let the leg fall out to the side and bring it back. Let's inhale, let the leg go out to the side, exhale, bring it back. And watching, making sure that the left knee doesn't fall out to the side. You're only working one side of the body. And this is a great stretch. It massages the glute muscles because sometimes they get really tight and press on our sciatic nerve. And we want to loosen that up so that we don't have tight glutes. Circle the leg. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, massaging the hip joint. Great job, guys. Let's go the other way. And then we'll bring that leg in one more time. Nice stretch. Lengthening through the lower back and place that foot down. Other side. Draw the knee into the chest. Be aware that this knee doesn't fall out to the side. Keep the inner thighs engaged. Draw that leg in. Feel free to pause the video and stay with a particular stretch, especially if one resonates with you more than the other. And we're going to take that leg, hands holding the roller, and we're going to do our toe taps from there. Stabilizing through the hips. So part of this work is being aware of what's going on in your body as you're moving, bringing mindfulness to your movement. Also feeling what is going on in your movement. Let's go out to the side now and back. And for some, this might feel easy. But again, start to feel the movements. Notice what your body is doing as you're doing the movement. Because with one movement, there's always another movement that's occurring as you're working. So bringing that leg in towards us and around for a circle. So as this leg is circling, what's happening on the other side of the body? That's important. We don't want to be all over the place just to accomplish the exercise. Mindful movement. And the other way. And as you circle this one around, bring the knee into the chest. We'll give ourselves one more hug. And then place that foot down on the floor. So we're going to pick up both legs and bring them in to a tabletop position. So tabletop is simply knees directly over top of the hips. And again, you're going to hold the roller and we're just going to tick-tock our legs over the roller. Take your time because we don't want the roller to move away from you. We want to keep it still. And so you're slowly going to move over the SI joint, over the glutes. And I want you to think about separating the muscles. Now, in order to keep the legs in this position, we have to really work our abdominals. We need to really make sure that our ribs are sinking into the mat, that our breath is working. So we are working internal abdominal muscles to keep the legs in one position. We're going to do one more on each side. Massaging the lower back and the hips. And now we're going to tuck the tailbone under and push the roller away. Notice I'm not moving the legs. I'm really isolating the lower abdominals, and exhale, curl those hips towards us. That means you're bringing the hip bones towards the ribs and then pushing the roller away. So really just work from the lower abdominals. Now for some, this is really hard to disassociate the legs. You're going to want to pull the legs into your chest, but you're not. I want you to really isolate those hips. Exhale, draw it in, and then away. All right, so pushing the roller away and pulling the roller back in. Yes, my legs are moving a little bit, but that's because my hips are connected to my legs, but I'm not using my legs to do my abdominal curl. And hopefully this will resonate in your other classes when we say tuck in the tailbone. Great job. So here we're going to pull those knees all the way into the chest. Hold your roller so it doesn't pop out. And really let the legs kind of press down into your chest or into your belly. That weight feels good on the chest and the shoulders. And then bring the legs back. One at a time, we come down to the mat. So lifting the hips up off of the roller and just sliding it out from underneath. And we're going to place the roller right at our seat, and you're going to let the legs kind of drape over the top of them. So massaging the hamstrings and the glutes, you just work them in the bridge position. So we're just going to open and close. So I am actually working from the bones of my thighs. I am rolling the muscles that surround my bones. All right, so that's what we're doing here. So we're letting the roller roll over the bulk of the muscles in the hamstrings. So we're opening and closing from here. Open and rotate inward. Pigeon-toed to wide. And again, noticing and feeling how our legs feel in this position. Does it take a lot to turn those thighs inward? And is it not so hard to let the legs just kind of fall open? So let's do a few more. Nice. And now we're going to take the right leg and we're just going to slide it out to the side and then squeeze it back in. Let it like slide out to the side and bring it back in. Not as easy as I'm saying. So you want to feel again that roller, take the muscle and again massage it in a different way. And this is really great to help flush out any inflammation that you have in your legs. When we work out, we're actually tearing down and rebuilding muscle, and we want to basically break it back up again so that you get that circulation. And when you have circulation and blood flow to the muscles, that helps to create more muscle. So we want to make sure we keep our legs, the muscles in our legs flexible and pliable, and we're not just strength training all the time. So now we're going to do the other side. Letting that leg just slide over the roller and squeeze back together. And if you notice any points on that muscle that need to be addressed a little bit more, feel free to pause the video and stay there for a little bit and just kind of roll around into that muscle. A few more. And then we're going to do together like jumping jacks. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Feet are relaxed. We're just focusing in on those hamstrings, the back of the legs. Again, massaging the tissue. And done. Bring your feet in. Good. Let the legs kind of shake out a little bit. We're going to extend the right leg straight up towards the ceiling and cross it over the other leg. I'm going to squeeze the inner thighs, and we're just going to let the legs kind of tip off to one side. And when you let the legs tip off to one side, feel the knee reach away and encourage that stretch there. Take your right arm and just let it float over the top of your head. So here in this particular stretch, we're trying to unglue the hips from the ribs. And then return everything back. So start with the arms, uncross the legs, and then bring everything back and into the center. The other side. Extend the leg up towards the ceiling, cross it over, squeeze through the inner thighs, and then slowly tick-tock those legs over to the side. And again, we're looking to unglue the hips from the ribs. Let that left arm encourage the stretch, but don't pull down on the legs. We always want to feel, again, an ungluing effect here of the tissue. And then bring it back. Beautiful job. So let's roll over to one side and we're going to come up. Now I'm going to ask you to bring the roller lengthways. And we're going to use our weights for that next series. So I'm not going to use the mat unless you are rolling around all over the place and you want some stability, then you're going to need the mat. So let's sit down on the very end of our roller. Take the weights with you, and we're going to roll down slowly, if you can, one vertebrae at a time. If not, maybe getting on the roller first and then picking up the weights might work for you. So I want to feel my whole spine is in the roller. So move the roller around until you feel that it's straight and you're not going to twist off of. And we're going to take our weights and bring them straight up over top of our shoulders. So wrists directly over top of shoulders. And we're going to do a little bit of movement from this shoulder blade. So push the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling and then let the shoulder blades lower down. Now, this whole series, if you're having issues with your shoulders, can be done without the weights. And that's totally fine. And then every time you do the video, you know, as your shoulders get stronger, maybe adding the weights in later. That's totally fine too. So we're going to feel the shoulders become heavy on the rollers, not the shoulder per se, but the shoulder blades, the middle of your back. And we're going to bend the elbows and kick the arms back up again. So triceps. And when we're doing the triceps, we want to feel a stretch here and then the work. I'm not death squeezing the weights. And if your arms feel a little shaky or quivery, that's totally fine. That means you found the sweet spot on that roller. Again, you're stimulating the nerve endings and helping the body flush out lactic acid and all that tension that builds up between those shoulder blades. So we're going to stay here in this position and notice wrists are even with the elbows. And we're going to open out slowly in a chest fly. And we're in a chest fly. The weights are there to offer assistance or stretch for the shoulders. So we don't want our hands to lift towards the ceiling. I want you to rotate so that the elbows are up. So do that a couple times. Rotate from the elbows. And this is where if you have a mirror in your house, you can keep it close by so that you can watch your form. But eventually I want you to feel your form. So I want you to feel the goalpost arms, all right? And from here, we're just gonna do little lifts and little lowers. And we're working from in the front of the shoulder, and the shoulder blades are stabilizing. So really keep an eye in your peripheral vision that the weights don't start to lift towards the ceiling. You really want to stay here and stretch your shoulders out. And again, if this is too much to add the weights, take the weights away and just do wall washers without the weights. So we're going to hold here, and then I want you to lift back up again. Those muscles you felt stretching are the muscles you're going to use to lift those arms. Bring them right back up towards the ceiling. So now we're going to walk our arms. So one arm comes all the way down to your side. The other one, you're going to be careful. Keep that shoulder anchored. And then exhale, bring both arms back to the center. So we're walking the arms, but keeping the shoulders anchored. We're not reaching the shoulders out of their shoulder socket. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, your gaze is looking down your cheekbones, not at the ceiling. And we're strengthening the muscles deep within the shoulder. So if you've had shoulder surgery, you might want to wait a few weeks out, after your physical therapy to start doing something of this nature here. And then bend the elbows, and we're going to put the weights off to the side. I'm not going to use them. Fingertips right at the rib cage. All right, so remember the toe taps we did earlier? We're going to do that here. So keep the elbows close and on the floor. That's going to stabilize us from rolling off our roller. So let's pick up our legs one at a time into tabletop. Yes, you need those abdominals. Oh, stabilize. So we're balancing on our roller, and we're going to do those toe taps that we did earlier to warm up this exercise. So notice my legs are staying in a 90-90 tabletop position. Exhale, lift. Now remember, if this becomes too much for you and you feel it in your neck and your jaw, go back to single leg, put one foot on the floor and just do one side at a time. And if you do that, you're going to do 5 toe taps on each side. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. And then we'll place one foot down and the other foot down, and we're back where we started. Beautiful job. So lacing the fingertips together, our thumbs are free, and those are going to go at the base of our skull. Your head is heavy into the palm of your hands, and on your exhale, you're going to pull up on the base of your skull. Your thumbs are kind of hooked on that, and that's going to lengthen your spine down the roller. Breathe in through the nose, and as you exhale, let your head fall into your hands, and you're going to do a chest curl. Inhale, come down. Feel how my voice changes? Can you hear that? As you exhale, you're coming up into chest curl. That means I'm using my abdominals 200%. Exhale, squeezing all the air out, but not pressing your lower back into the roller. You're trying to peel off the upper body without pulling on your head, and then lying back down again. And exhale, we're gonna go up, 2, 3, inhale, back down. See if we can start to do this without a lot of movement in our rollers. And exhale. And inhale. Now we're going to do that one more time. Beautiful job. And then stretch our spine all the way out and lie down. Hands once again at the ribs. You're going to bridge. So press those feet firmly into the floor and begin to feel your spine peel up off that roller. Take a nice deep breath and start where your hands are. Put that down first on the roller, then your lower back, and then your hips find neutral. So as you're going to do this 4 more times with me, each time you do the roll down, you're going to try to feel every segment of your spine touching the roller. And again, practice makes permanent. Our goal is to feel each vertebra. So in the beginning, you're going to feel like 4 inches drop down at one time. So eventually we want to feel each of that come down so that we're not breaking our spine down in segments, that we're individually stretching our spine out across and down the roller. So you can do that one more time. And exhale all the way down. Nice, nice work. Awesome job. So there's never a pretty way to come off your roller. Just come off. So we're going to do some side lying work on our roller. And we're going to take our elbow and place it on the floor. The roller is going to come up and underneath our ribs. So we're going to try to feel right above our hip bone. And so we're not going to sink into the roller because first of all, it doesn't feel good. So you're going to push into and lift yourself up. And if you need a pillow or underneath the mat underneath your elbow, put it there. And we're going to stretch our legs all the way out. So feel your hips stacked on top of each other, flex your feet. I'm going to lift up the top leg. So this is going to be a clue when we move front and back. We don't want to move our roller and we want to keep balance. So we don't want to do this kind of thing to do the exercise. We want to feel ourselves use the roller to stabilize our hips. So it's more of a clue of where we are in space. Heel to the front, toe to the back. Exhale. Inhale. We're going to do that one more time. Oh, it feels so good. And back. Good. Bend both knees, pull them in, and bring yourself up. So we're going to take the top leg and we're going to send it back so that we're in a Z sit position, and we're going to push this roller away. As you push the roller away, my body is in a diagonal, but I want to actually go into side bending. So I want to lift these ribs up towards the ceiling, and then this arm comes up straight up towards the ceiling. And the arm is really to help you lift the ribs. So it's as if it's a bucket handle and you're pulling him up. Come back in. Good, let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Beautiful. So let's do our side lying awareness on the other side. So again, placing the roller right above the hip and our elbow on the floor. Elbows directly underneath the shoulder. And once we have that position, you're going to roll the shoulder back and stack those hips up. So we're not here to lounge on the roller. We're using the roller as awareness so that we don't sink into it. And flex both feet, stack those hips, and heel to the front and toe to the back. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Great job. Last one. Come on, stay strong. Good. And bend both knees, bring them in. We're going to push ourselves up. Take that top leg, move it back. Sit up nice and tall. Let's push the roller away. Remember, you're lifting the ribs up. Exhale, come back in. So those of you who take reformer classes here at the studio know this one as mermaid, and we use the reformer as resistance to push away. And I want you to imagine that you are on the reformer and you're pushing away from the foot bar and coming back in, and the roller will give you that sensation. Exhale, bring it all the way back in. Nice. So we're gonna do a little more abdominal work, my favorite exercise, and those who take classes with me know I love this stuff. So we're going to bring the roller here at our knees, put our hands on the floor, and then walk up so that not our knees are on, but our shins are on. So hands are directly underneath the shoulders, and we're gonna lift those feet up off of the floor. So kickstands, take your kickstand away. So we're going to walk out so that our shins are on there, and you could still put your toes on there if you need to pause. And we're gonna push the roller away until it stops at our knees. And then on your exhale, pull it back in. Shoulders down, eyes looking forward, exhale, pull it in. So when you're pulling the roller in, we don't want the back to sag. I want you to lift the belly button up, and we're breathing in and breathing out. As you pull that roller in, feel the shoulders drop down your back. You can also do this from a plank, but I think you're gonna have better success when you're here. And we're gonna do this 4 and 3 and 2 and one more time. Oh, and then kickstand those feet and sit back. Hands coming to the roller. Woo. You ready? Straighten out the legs. So we're gonna push the roller away, feel flat back, and tuck it back in rounds. Inhale, flat back. Now, if you can't touch the roller, no worries. Hands to the thighs. Flat back, tuck in and roll. We're gonna do that. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. So we're gonna come all the way up to standing, and we're gonna take the roller underneath our right foot. So roller underneath the right foot. Let me send myself back a little bit so you see my whole head. Find your balance. Another one of my favorite things. So right now I have the arch of my foot on the roller, and we're gonna keep that arch on the foot, kind of curl over it, and you're gonna raise up on your tippy toes and come back down. Exhale, raise up and low back down again. Exhale, 3, 4, it's hard, and 5. Now from here, keeping those hips square, you're gonna push the roller away, flex your foot, and pull it back in and up to a point. So footwork, excellent, standing tall. Now, if you choose, you can also do this from a seated position on a chair. I want you to feel that you're rolling over the bottom of your foot and then reaching the heel away. And as you're bringing it back, you're pointing the toe and coming all the way up to your tippy toe. But this is happening because you're zipping up those lower abdominals and lifting up really tall. So it's more of an internal grab of the roller. Inhale, stretch it away. Exhale, lift to the toe. Let's keep that foot flexed and reaching out. Dig that heel and hinge forward. Stick your tush back, stretch out through that leg. And then bring it back in and up. We're gonna switch sides. So the arch of the foot is on there. Feel yourself lift really tall. Again, square off those hips, and we're gonna lift up the heel on the right. 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. Good and gooder sides, right? Laugh with me, people. Here we go. We're gonna roll it out, flex that foot, and come back in and point that toe. Inhale out, exhale, point that toe. So if you've taken my yoga classes, I talk about the drishti point. The drishti is a place that doesn't move, that your eyes will find, and you're gonna focus in on it. And it usually comes from deep within your body. So the inhale and the exhale. Send that foot out, flex, And bring it back in, lifting up, focusing in. So I usually like, if I'm in a room of this size, looking where the ceiling meets the wall. And that gives me a nice height. And so as we finish this last one, feel the length from right here at the hip all the way out the leg, and you're going to reach your chest forward and balance. And then round the spine and roll back up. We're going to pick up our roller, so always bend the knees and pick it up, and we're going to put it on its side. So we are going to do rolling down and rolling back up. So I'll do this from the side perspective and then turn to face front so you can see both. So feet are about 4 to 6 inches apart. You're going to keep your arms nice and straight out of front with the shoulders down. That means we're pressing the hands, the heel of the hand into your roller, and you're going to roll down. As you roll down, try not to shift your weight back. Try to keep your hips over your heels, and you can watch that as your head goes down through your arms. Exhale, tuck in and roll all the way back up. So remember those lovely bridges that you did, and I asked you to feel each vertebra touch the roller as you roll down. Let's see if we can imagine ourselves stacking back up the wall the same way that we did on the roller, all the way back up to the ceiling. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. And one more time. And rolling up. So finishing this class standing, we're going to do that same push forward, but now I want you to take the roller over to your right side, and you're going to reach your chest out towards me. So keep your eyes looking forward. All right, knees are soft, hips are tucked under, and we're going to circle around to the right. Right about here, I want you to tuck in and tuck your head in and roll back up. Don't bend the elbows. I know you're going to want to, but bring it back to where we started. Again, reach your chest all the way out to me. It's an exhale. As you start to circle, this is a breath in, and so that you can exhale and pull back. Arms staying straight. All the way out. Hold here to inhale, and then on your exhale, drag it back. One more time. Ha, breath. Breathe in through the nose, and exhale, pull it back. Nice work, everyone. Let's go on over to the other side. Yes, your roller's going to move around, but if you want each time, put it back where it belongs. All right, so here we go. Arms are out nice and straight, parallel feet. You're reaching out. This is an exhale, so reach your chest out towards me, and then start to circle it around the roller, and then pull back and round the spine all the way back up to the start. Don't bend those elbows. Exhale, ha, breath. Hold here to inhale, press down on the roller and pull it back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I think we can do one more. Breath. And back. All the way back into center. Nice. So we're going to pick up our roller, and we're going to hold it on the ends. Oops, maybe not. So the whole hand is holding onto your roller. You're going to draw your shoulders down. I want you to breathe in as the roller lifts up towards the sky, and then exhale, bring it down. So I'm still trying to keep the hands holding the outside, and I'm going to keep my spine straight, not back bend, and bring it back. We got one more, just nice stretch up to the sky. Feel the shoulders stretch open, and then we release. Bring the roller behind you. I want the arms to be evenly spaced. You can start out wider. That's totally fine. We can work our way inward, but I need the palms to face each other and the thumbs to reach towards your butt. All right, knees are bent, and you're going to bend the elbows towards the camera or behind you because you're looking at my back, and then reach it away. Again, lift the back of the arms up towards the ceiling. Try not to let them turn out. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together. So this is opening up our chest. We're inhaling and exhaling. Make sure when you roll up, the roller goes about only as high as your waistband. And then when you push it down, it's down in the middle of your back. But inhale and exhale. Inhale, rolling over your thumbs, and then exhale straight down. Let's release that roller. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Please send me an email at Laurie, Laurie, at PilatesPlusRestoration.com. If you have any questions or suggestions about this class,